Okay, so our next project is going to be the number 2 pencil design. And what you're going to do is you're going to take an animal and you're going to convert it so that the animal is made by number 2 pencils. And within that, you're going to use the standard yellow number 2 pencil, and at some point you have to have at least one of the circle number 2s. You don't have to have like, I think I have 3, but you can have some of them without it. You're going to use both. You can use either or, like the round pencils or like the octagon pencils that have those angles to them. You're going to have to work on shading with both the like highlights from, see how a pencil, it has like the highlights where the light meets those edges of the octagon. Or if it's a round pencil, you'll have the darks to lights where it rounds about, so it has that look of being round. You're also going to use the metal. You're going to work with shading to where you have that highlight, to where you have the highlight here. You'll have the low lights here where you've got that, see where you have like the rivets where it goes in. You have that, let's see, I don't see if you can see that very well. Yeah, but see how you have the rivets? It goes in, it gets dark around those edges. Anything where that's a bend, you'll have a highlight or a shadow. So you're gonna have to look at those and you're gonna have to draw those, just like you did with your study. What's dark, what's light? You'll really have to look at it. So in this example, you're gonna have to do that same thing. So all those are a part of this project. So to start it, and here's another example. This is where I got this project from. But you have to think about where everything's going to go and use it all together. So to do this project, you're going to start by drawing a basic line contour. So for that seahorse, I just did, and this is going to be really quick, I just did the line contour and just draw the basics of it. You have like the outline of the seahorse. And this is just going to be really quick. And you're going to be doing this all in pencil. I'm just doing it in Sharpie so you can see it. Then you're going to think about like the important details. They have this like little, I think it's like a gill type of thing here. There are some little shooties that go off of it. Then they have like a finned kind of edge here that they have that's pretty important to their structure. And they have a, like a, I would say like a belly that has some lines on it. I'm going to dry those in lightly because that's where I'm going to play in with my pencil. So this is the basic structure of a seahorse. Now, when you think of pencils, you'll do your line contour of whatever animal you're doing. Then you need to think about how will a pencil fit in the space, and using the colors work well. So in my example, I decided I wanted that differentiation from the back to the fins to the belly. So I chose to use a pencil to do that. So I have the pencil here. I made the belly all yellow. Then I made that line with the edge of the metal part. And then I did this ribbed edge with the eraser. So you need to think about how can I use that pencil to work with the animal. Then as the tail went around, I just kind of had to think about how can I merge. It doesn't have to, I mean, obviously a pencil doesn't do that, but how can I merge that pencil or rearrange it to where it fits? There isn't going to be any negative space. So like right here, I wanted this to be a line that kind of led from here. So either my pencils were back to back or eraser to a pencil, but then I like whip this around, even though obviously a pencil doesn't square off like that, but I just kind of done the point here, so this would back to this, you know, and then I curved this around to give that little look of a tail. You know, this obviously isn't how a pencil looked, but I filled my shape. The eye, you can have the pencil going any direction. It can go straight, it could go like this, you know, how it is, but you do see a little edge of that yellow. You do see like a little edge of the pencil top. Here, I'll see if you can see that up close. See how the edge of that pencil top is dark to light? You see that little bit of detail. You need to put that type of detail in there to make it look realistic. So you need to think about, you know, here's where that little gill or whatever, so that determined this was going to be a big eraser. Then I wrapped these around to get those lines of the secondary gill. You know, how can you use the information on a pencil to change up your lines and give them the detail? Now, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to do something that has stripes or something, which doesn't really work as well because you're only working in these colors. So if you try to throw stripes in there, it just gets very confusing. So you don't want to have pencil, 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 because you need to think about how can I work large to small areas. You don't want to have too much confusion. So you really want to think about how would the pencil work in that area. Like on this example here, he used these to give that look of that muscle. So he had little tiny pencils in here with big erasers, whereas here he wanted big pencils with small erasers to kind of contrast the two different things. So you'll do your line contour, basic. You'll decide how to put your pencils in there. And then finally, you'll shade using the shading techniques that we practice on with our optical illusion thing to give it that look. It should have highlights. It should have lines from where the light hits the edges of the pencil. It should have like a little highlight with the lead. Everything has that look because we want it to look realistic using the colors of the pencil.